and welcome to a brand new episode of the podcast entitled Couch Potatoes Unite! Which is based on a blog of the same name. I used to tell a joke here, but it's a new year, so there are new rules. If you missed the joke, let us know. My name is Kylie and I love TV. If you feel the same, keep listening and or checking out our website at couchpotatoesunite.wordpress.com, as you're bound to find some common ground or something you like. For at Couch Potatoes Unite, we're all about the wonders and the unique long-form storytelling of the small screen. CPU hopes you've been following releases of brand new episodes of the podcast on Wednesdays, as well as new blog entries on some Tuesdays, and as always, we have several more new episodes on the way. Because the panelists and I live lives behind our podcast, the episodes are published once per week. Subscribe to the blog or the podcast via iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and via Google Play to stay on top of brand new episodes. Episodes already published discuss a variety of shows around the water cooler, including but not limited to How to Get Away with Murder, Sherlock, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., New Girl, a series of unfortunate events, The Vampire Diaries, The Originals, Orange is the New Black, and The X-Files. Plus, new episodes are in the works, including revisits for Once Upon a Time, Supernatural, Gotham, Doctor Who, Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, American Horror Story, Fuller House, and the Marvel's Defenders panel will review the first season of The Punisher. A final visit with our Broadchurch panel to say goodbye to the mystery drama from across the pond. We'll be launching new panels covering Sense8, Grace and Frankie, The Good Place, and iZombie. And because we look back at shows now past, we'll be looking back at one of our most popularly requested panels of all time, and that would be Friends. What's more, CPU also goes live. We've been live from the Bunker, comedy outlet Mondays at Dog Story Theater and Grand Rapids Comic-Con, and we're planning more live appearances and other cool stuff. So make sure you like us at our Facebook page, our Twitter, follow us at CPU Podcast, our Instagram at Couch Potatoes Unite, and or our Pinterest at CPU Podcast, or subscribe to the blog, our YouTube channel, our iTunes channel, our Stitcher Radio channel, or find us on Google Play. In the meantime, if you don't hear your show in this podcast format, fellow panelists and I still write reviews, and we're always seeking new panelists. So if you have any interest in joining the discussion, say hello by finding us at any of those outlets I've mentioned. At the very least, stop by and leave us a thumbs up, comment, or review. We like feedback. Just don't assault us from a parallel universe. There's nothing wrong with having a simple conversation. Today, we're yet again trying something different around the water cooler here at CPU. As you know, our DCTU series covers 4 shows, namely Arrow, The Flash, DC's Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl. We also have a full DCTU series panel ready and willing to share their thoughts about the progress of these 4 shows in the first halves of their 2017 to 2018 seasons. Because we don't have much time to catch up with each show individually during these mid-season breaks, we're here to at least touch on the 4 shows simultaneously as a temperature check for the remainder of the seasons in question, especially since this panel has the awesome responsibility of covering 4 shows with seasons of approximately 22 episodes each. As we did last season, however, we will still plan to cover the whole season for each of the 4 shows in the summer. Today, though, your friendly neighborhood DCTU panel, Wrong Universe, namely Kyle, Hilary, Spencer, Kristen, and Nick, are back to discuss their thoughts related to the progress of the 4 shows' current seasons, and that would be specifically Arrow Season 6, Flash Season 4, and Legends of Tomorrow and Supergirl Season 3 through their mid-season breaks. Since we're doing 4 shows at once, I will also be foregoing the usual plot summaries until the end of the season. For detailed plot summaries and other DC Television Universe information on which to catch up, including the past seasons for every DCTU show, listen to prior podcast episodes about Arrow, The Flash, Legends, or Supergirl at couchpotatoesunite.wordpress.com. If you didn't already know, you can click the floating box at the top right of the header, the picture with the couch full of TV watchers, and search for any blog entry or prior podcast episode. Trust me, it is a truly super feature. For now, however, I will reintroduce the panel, and to model after last year's mid-season festivities, we will also be playing a couple of fun games. In any event, and as always, it should be noted that every single one of our panelists has viewed all 4 Arrowverse shows to date and will likely discuss sensitive plot points. So for those of you who are not caught up on Arrow, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, or Supergirl, listen at your own risk, and it would be risky, as there are going to be major spoilers. Welcome back, panel. How are you?
Good.
Hello.
Are you ready to do this?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. Last mid-season, we did this spicy little newlywed edition of our DCTU panel where you were all separated. This year, we're doing it with you. You're all in the same room. So the expressions, listener, you're going to miss. Their facial expressions, I'm sure, will be priceless gold. But for now, what we're going to be talking about is the mid-season for the 4 DCTU shows. But to get us into the frame of mind, if you will, instead of doing the standard CPU character question that changes with each show we do, which would be hard because there are 4 shows and we really don't have that kind of time, what I would like to do is ask you, first of all, remind us who you are by your first name, and then tell us. If you were any of the main villains currently on the 4 shows, who would you be and why? You can pick from a list that I have previously provided you. Listener, if you've watched the shows, you know who they are. Who would like to start?
I can start.
Wow, that sounded real enthusiastic.
I'm Nick.
Hi, Nick.
This is a tough list. I don't... Gorilla Grodd?
Because he is in Legends of Tomorrow and forecasted to return.
That was my questioning it, picking it. Based on the rest of the characters?
That's the Legends part of the list, Nick. So they're all divided by show.
I know.
Right now.
What? That was me picking one.
Oh, you're picking Gorilla Grodd.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was
in the form of a question.
He did.
He's not sure
it's
of
somewhat
his identity.
like John Cleese.
Because the
where he
list
says,
is...
some people
It's
call
difficult.
me Tim.
Yeah, he said
I
something.
didn't know.
No one was listening to you.
No.
I heard what you said.
I did.
I didn't
He said the list was difficult, so he's picking Gorilla Grodd because that's the best choice for him.
at
So
this time.
why is it the best?
I like gorillas.
I know, he's kind of badass.
Yeah.
He might be my favorite villain on this list.
Okay.
He's a
Interesting.
strong villain. I like him as a villain.
Legitimate.
Because he's
He
a
is.
gigantic gorilla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just cool.
With
And he can read
telekinetic
minds.
powers.
Yeah, he's
And
pretty
he can
powerful.
Control minds.
I mean,
We don't know Rain well enough.
I don't know if I'm afraid of
know
Nick, but
Rain.
I'd be afraid of Gorilla
He's just
Grodd.
been in love.
Rain is essentially the Supergirl's answer to Doomsday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, but she's only been in basically one episode.
And she
at this
beat
point.
Yeah.
out of Supergirl.
Yeah, she did.
Badass.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with that.
All right.
Gorilla Grodd.
Gorilla Grodd. Welcome back, Nick.
I'm Hilary.
Hi, Hilary.
Hi,
What's up, Hills?
What's up? I am the moderator's sister,
Yeah.
and Kyle will talk soon. He's my husband.
True.
And again, this list is very difficult. I'm not in love with really most of these people, but I do think when Caitlin's being Killer Frost, she's kind of cool. Just because of that. I didn't do it on purpose. And
Did you?
I actually like Black Siren, like Laurel Lance, but like I just think she's pretty cool most of the time. So I'm picking the lady characters based off being cool.
You're picking 2?
Yes, because I can. Did you want to see this?
Alright, I'll go next.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
There's
gonna go
a
next.
gap, so there you
Only
go.
one of you can.
I ran through the open door. I am Spencer.
Hi, Spencer.
Howdy doody. And of the list, I would probably pick Damien Dark. Of the
That's what I was gonna say.
No
of
surprise.
the regular characters, if
No
I
surprise.
can dip my toe into Earth X, I'd probably go with Evil Ollie.
I see.
And Damien Dark, just because I love his smug, hey, you're not
I
going to be able
was
to
gonna
take
say
me
you
down.
really sound more like Damien
You
Dark
do.
than Evil Ollie.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Just saying.
But I didn't say
I
I,
think
had to
one's
relate to it.
wishful
I just
thinking.
enjoyed the character with Evil Ollie.
There's
But-
a question that will cover what you think about their choices later on.
But Damien Dark has just got
We just get
that
into it now.
beautiful,
Yeah.
smug, it drips off his voice. He's like, you guys can't touch me, and I just kind of enjoy Neil's portrayal.
Welcome back, Spencer.
I'll go next. Hi, I'm Kristen.
Hi, Kristen.
I'm also going to choose 2 because I can. And I
Because
usually...
that's you.
And I also do. Killer
Jumping
Frost.
on the wagon.
Hey, I am. But I'm also jumping on the Killer Frost wagon. But I've been on the Killer Frost wagon for a while.
Yeah,
I really, really
I like her
like
more
Killer
as
Frost. I do too. But then, so I don't completely copy Hilary. I'm also going to choose Rain because she's a badass. And yeah, Nick, she's only been in like 2 episodes, but she's awesome. And so I'm a Killer Rain fan.
That works. Killer Rain.
That
It's
works.
like a Mortal Kombat character.
Killer Rain.
No, it sounds like something from that TV show in the 80s with all the cartoon characters that were Earth, Wind, and Fire. Captain Planet. Killer Rain would have been a villain in that.
Aw.
Acid Rain.
Acid.
Just took a weird thunder.
They did.
Welcome back, Kristen.
Thank you, not to Spencer.
Aww.
Kyle's
Spicy.
turn.
My name's Kyle.
That was Knuckles.
Hi, honey.
Hi, Kyle.
Based on the current villains, well, the list isn't. They're none of my favorite villains, so it's
He's
hard for me
basically
to
saying
pick.
the same thing Nick said.
yeah.
It's difficult to choose.
Not even
I
the
would pick
thinker?
Damien Dark
Ooh.
because
You wouldn't even pick the Reverse Flash Tom Cavanaugh?
I don't think I would be him. I would want to be Reverse Flash. I don't think I'm that charismatic.
Just pick him.
So I'm
He
saying
already
Damien
said
Dark.
garlic bread. Just pick him.
And listen, Kyle, it's
We're gonna
hard.
let the man speak.
Kyle pick his own,
But Kyle is wearing
But
a Flash
yeah.
baseball cap right now. Just saying.
but not
But,
Reverse
but
Flash.
personally, I respond more to like Damien Dark's wry, sarcastic kind of detachment of what's going on. Like he's not like world conquering. I don't know. I relate more to him than the grander villains.
Or the cagey beast.
Oh, he hasn't gone by that yet, but it's all coming.
It's coming.
Welcome back, Kyle. And of course, I'm Kylie, and since I made them do it, I guess I have to do it. If I was going to pick one that I even slightly relate to, it probably would be the Thinker, just because I know I'm a know-it-all. But if I wanted to pick one that I want to be, it would be Rain, because she is a badass.
I was going to say that. I'm so good at guessing.
And the Thinker is a guy, which is unfortunate, but, you know, what can you do? So, now...
What does that even mean?
Well, because you all went gender specific with your choices, and I'm the only one that went to the other one. But that's okay.
Fine,
picked
I
a whole
changed mine
different
to Tom
species.
Cavanaugh Reverse Flash.
You don't have to change.
I'm just kidding.
All right. So now we've all picked our villains, and this is very important because this is a very villain-centric kind of season for many of these shows. Speaking of the shows, what I ask you to do every time, but I'm asking you early because it's mid-season, is to rank the shows in order of your favorite to least favorite currently and justify why.
Flash, Supergirl, Arrow, Legends.
Oh man, I think that's where I'm. Okay.
Hasn't it? That's continuously where I keep landing. Flash is still the best in my opinion. I still feel like I relate more to Kara and everything that she's going through. I think that Arrow, even though it continues to have some slight ups, it has lower slopes down, and Legends is just always corny, and that's it.
Flash, Legend, Supergirl, Arrow, all in one.
All in one.
All in one level.
Whoa.
Flash is just, it's so much better than the rest of them. And the others I like for their own individual reasons, but at the same level. With Legends, I really enjoy the campiness and the pop culture-y level of it, and the fact that it doesn't need to... You can miss an episode, jump back in, and still enjoy it as a standalone basis.
I actually agree with that. I want to edit mine.
Let Spencer talk.
Little Miss Derail over there. With Supergirl, it's just a really, really fun show. It's starting to show some weakness, but it's still a really fun show. And Arrow's the one that got me into it, so I'm always going to have a special place for it. So it's Flash 1, the other three all joint second. They're all standing on the silver medal podium.
It's crowded.
It is.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going to put all mine on the same level, like Spencer, but I will mirror Hilary. I will say Flash, Supergirl, Legends, and then Arrow at the very bottom. I rank mine in order of what I'm most excited to watch. Arrow is a chore for me to get through every week at this point.
I was gonna flip mine. I was literally just gonna flip mine because at least Legends is like upbeat
and
for the most
it's
part.
funny. There are still some good jokes, even if it is a little campy and corny. But yeah,
Also
Flash
shorter,
is still.
so it's not quite the...
Yeah.
It's not quite the slog that Arrow can be sometimes.
Correct. Arrow can definitely be tough to slog.
I know you love Stephen Amell, but it's not his fault.
It's not his fault.
It's not his fault.
I still love Stephen Amell. Just his show is ranked last.
Spoken.
It's because you're doing. I know your faces.
And listener, Kylie loves Stephen Amell. Hearts,
They
hearts,
know.
hearts for days.
They know.
She has a secret shrine in her house.
It's
I
not so
don't have
secret
a
since we all
shrine.
know
I
about
should
it.
have a shrine. I would have a shrine, but I don't.
If he ever has a car accident going through town, it's going to be like a scene out of Misery, Stephen.
No,
Stay out of Grand Rapids.
I don't have
That
no.
went dark.
There'll be a salmon ladder and you'll be forced to perform
Also,
daily.
I
Just
still
once a
rank
day?
Jensen Ackles above Steven, just for the record.
Well, fair enough.
Consider that your warning.
Steven, don't listen. Next.
I'll go next. I agree with a lot of what people have said so far. Flash, number one for sure. I'm liking Supergirl more this current chunk of season, so I'd put that second. And then I'd probably do Legends, because I've enjoyed it pretty steadily the same amount for the same reasons everyone just said who was talking about it. And then Arrow is difficult a little bit. I think I like it a little bit more than last season, but not much.
For me, it's the same as everyone else. Flash. This season is way better than the last season and improving with each episode. And then I would actually rank Legends next based on these seasons.
Oh.
Wow.
Normally it'd be Supergirl easily, but there's things I really don't like about this season. So when they were saying, Legends for me is more fun, more throwaway, more like
junk food.
More, yeah, exactly.
Light-hearted popcorn fun.
And then Supergirl, and then Arrow for the same reasons everyone else says. It's just every season, like the pilot, I go in thinking, okay, they're gonna make it better, and then it just kind of stays at the same level.
As for me, Flash, of course, at the top. For everything, Spencer said it best. It's just far and away better than I think the other three are. The ensemble is tighter. I would put Supergirl next, mainly because I like the universe, but I actually like this season of Supergirl less than previous seasons. Although Rain coming into it, I think is going to kick it up a notch. But it took her a long time to become Rain, which was fine because we came to care about the character, but it was kind of boring up until that point. Then I would put Arrow. It's not at its heyday by any stretch of the imagination, and I do love Stephen Amell, but I still buy the storytelling and the mood of it better than Legends. Arrow is better this season than last season. I think overall, I think they're actually tying their threads together better. Is it going to be great? Probably not. I just don't think we're there yet. Plus, I think their hands are being tied with respect to Deathstroke again, so they're just all over the place. Legends, I want to like Legends, and I do think Legends is better now that they finally embraced the irony that the Legends are not legendary, but I also think that it can be corny to the point of being stupid. And so I get irritated by Legends faster than I do by the other ones, which isn't to say that there aren't things I enjoy. I do enjoy them, but I just also find Legends a little bit too cheesy for my taste. That's just my opinion. So that's where we all rank the shows. Now, what I have done, because this is our mid-season roundup, we're not here to go through each and every plot point of each and every show. What we really want to hit on is high level, things that you are loving and things that you don't love. We can go in any order you want. It doesn't have to be in release order. I just put it that way in the talking points just because it's easy for me to think that way. So whoever wants to start with whatever show, what do you like, what don't you like? And this is just general big statements. Spitballing.
I wasn't overly fond of the restart. When Arrow came back, it was just kind of a jump without much explanation. Mm-hmm. I didn't really like that at all.
Right, especially considering the finale just ended.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was the
just,
worst finale.
Literally ended. You would have thought I would pick up almost right then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was it felt like it was, there should have been a caption several months later.
Right.
It just was kind of a...
That's the weakest part of the season is they have this and it actually, Kyle predicted it in our last, and maybe a couple of you did, in our last episode about Arrow, that they literally explain nothing about how they got off that island with all those explosives, except for just a sideways mention, they ran, and there was a thing they could get on that suddenly worked. So,
yeah.
That was just, and that's kind of what they've done in other seasons too, so... That part is disappointing.
Yeah, it was a waste. They had some really good story opportunities and just, nope, we're just going to go over here now. Bye.
Yeah, we're back to the grind.
Yeah, which I don't like the grind, but I don't like the island either, so...
Well, I mean, at least I guess in one respect they've destroyed Lian Yu, so maybe we won't
God.
ever have to go back there at all.
Thank
That may be
God.
the metaphor for, hey, we're not going back to Lian Yu.
I think it's less a metaphor and more a reality. They blew it up.
But I think they're not going back in flashbacks either.
No, they're not.
They have to be done at this point.
There were still flashbacks, though, which...
There were some, but it wasn't
Not
every
every
episode.
Not every
didn't have
episode,
a
but
C
they
story.
have gotten to the point of monotony with flashbacks. I don't care who the flashback
You
is
don't
about
want any
anymore.
at
It's
all.
just stop looking backwards!
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with that. I don't want any at all.
We've got a good
Zero.
island arc. We're done.
Nothing.
It doesn't even
Stop.
need to be the island. It's just the mechanism is
Tried. It's
tried and
played
not
out.
true anymore.
True, and I do think the episodes without flashbacks this season have been the stronger ones.
Yep.
I'm also fed up with the Bratva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That they really should not carry over that storyline at all. That was one of
No.
the tedious parts of season 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I can't. I don't know anybody that liked that storyline.
I'm also sick of we know that you're the Arrow and we're going to pursue this.
Oh,
it's
wait,
the
you're not the Arrow
900th time.
anymore.
Yeah.
That annoys me about the Arrow. And the FBI agent, that storyline is irritating.
Why?
Because it's repetitive.
It's
Yeah,
so
that's
repetitive.
It is.
I don't know how they're gonna get over it, because isn't the big trial coming up? Or
The trailer.
Mad Dog is about to testify, or at least meet.
Wild Dog.
Wild Dog. Wild Dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Wild Dog.
Mad Dog.
We
That's
don't.
I read
Back to
the
the
comics
Future
and I
too.
always call him Mad Dog too.
Is there going to be a trial?
That one character, the dog,
Wild Dog.
is he being deposed?
So the FBI agent basically made him a deal whereby if he outed Oliver and testified that he was the Green Arrow, he would get to see his daughter again. If he didn't do that, then he would be prevented from ever seeing his daughter again. So he was sort of potentially illegally, if laws apply in the show, was blackmailed into testifying against Ollie, and that's what started the whole spying business at the half-season point.
Right. Well, like I said, whatever's gonna come out of this, I don't know how they're gonna resolve it, but I also don't care that much about it.
They've dangled that thread so many times it loses its tension.
And I find it odd that they're talking about bringing back, who was the Red Arrow? Arsenal.
Yeah.
And he was the one who took the fall last time. So that, I was kind of excited
That
when they announced.
has been confirmed. Roy is
He's
coming
coming back.
Yes.
And then, like, the wind was taken out of that sail with already mirroring that storyline that had him leave.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't, I don't have high hopes for when we come back to the show after the break either.
I think one of the reasons why I like it is because they brought on Michael Emerson.
Yeah.
So Benjamin Linus from Lost and Harold Finch from Person of Interest.
Yes.
And he's
He is
just
fantastic.
a wonderful actor, and he's kind of playing a combination of both of those two characters as Kate and James.
Kate and James, that's it.
But it's still fun because we don't know what his motives are, and I really want to know what his
Now, the
deal is.
guy they rescued from the container from thing that Dig's wife runs, they rescued Kate and
Argus.
James.
Argus.
So they rescued Kate and James from Argus.
Yeah.
The person they rescued was not Michael Emerson. Physically exceptionally different, so they suddenly changed their mind and went a different way with that character than I think they were originally planning.
I don't remember that.
Go back and watch.
Okay.
The person they rescued was not Michael Emerson. Stature, physical size, everything was wrong.
Well, maybe they nailed a possible guest star and they worked him in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays the part well.
Oh, he's really good.
He's excellent. I
He's
love
really
him.
good. I really enjoy anything he's done that I've seen him in, honestly.
Me too. I watch things just because he's in it. I like him so much.
One of the reasons I picked up Person of Interest.
Me too. It wasn't Jesus. Jim Caviezel.
Yes.
He's the lead. He played Jesus in Passion of the Christ.
But he did a wonderful
This is
job.
why you want Kylie on your team at trivia.
She knows all the actors that have played Jesus.
Actually, I don't know if I do.
Either way, that was funny.
She probably gets more than most would, though.
Any other thoughts you have about Arrow? What you like, what you didn't like?
I still love the character. And
Ollie?
I think I always will.
I do too.
See,
To what extent do you...
And Felicity.
as much as I like Michael Emerson as an actor, I still want classic Green Arrow villains. I don't want a hacker criminal organization. I want actual Arrow villains. I'm getting
Well,
a
he
little sick of it.
assembled villains, maybe?
Although he's not really an Arrow
But
villain.
it does seem
He's
that he
not.
is assembling a group of villains, a team of villains, so to
He's
speak.
You're
assembled-
talking about Count Vertigo and
Yeah, like,
Clock
and-
King
yeah.
and those people.
Clock King?
He is a Green Arrow villain.
No.
And a Batman villain.
I only know him from Batman.
Probably the animated series.
What about?
Yep.
I think we would be remiss without mentioning Deathstroke. What'd you think about?
I
Ben
loved it.
Bennett's
I loved
return?
those 2 episodes.
Yeah.
2 episodes, was it? 2 or 3?
3 overall.
3
There
overall.
was the
I
2
loved those
back-to-back and
because
one earlier.
their chemistry together,
It's really good.
it really was. It was so good. The back and forths, the mentorship
That is
almost.
usually one of the better parts, is those
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
together.
I like how they parallel their trajectories.
Mhm.
You know, Oliver's and Slade Wilson.
It's like,
Oh.
yeah, you know, this was one of the flashbacks I actually did not mind, where it went back and kind of filled in Slade's backstory with his son.
Yeah.
I actually
that
was okay with
annoyed me
those.
because Slade has a daughter who's a very prominent villain in the DC universe, Rose, and she's a
So
very
again, it's
interesting
another
villain.
thing that Warner Brothers
She's
probably won't
just
let
as
them do.
yeah, she's just as
So-
interesting as Deathstroke, and I would have loved to see her realized on Arrow. But instead, they're having a son who's going to end up being exactly like Deathstroke light.
Because they're trying to get Deathstroke out of the show.
Because they've introduced him into the Justice League movie.
Yeah.
So they're trying to do like a transition.
Warner Brothers is doing it again.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's like,
But yeah,
well,
I don't see the need for like why they changed Rose into a guy.
that's
Why
why.
does he do anything?
Because they need.
They like
you just
gender
said it.
switches.
Because they need Deathstroke Light. Because they won't be able to use him anymore. Because they already said that.
Yeah.
So that's their way to fix it, which is still stupid. I would have still gone, but whatever. I don't love it. I like their exchanges and stuff, but I don't like the
You don't like where the result of the story
correct.
went.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yep.
Oliver and Felicity got married.
Ugh.
I know that happens
we waiting
in the
to talk-
crossover, but it
Okay,
spills.
so I'm just gonna say that was my least favorite part of the crossover.
Thank you.
It was a dick move.
It
was
was
horrible.
forced.
Okay, now that part is the crossover discussion, but their reception was the episode after.
Save it.
I mean, that's fine.
You think it's fine? Well, there was a strong push for just pick one. They did. They got married. So,
Wrong choice.
oh, you wanted them to break up?
No, I don't know. I guess it just felt weird.
The
It takes-
timing wasn't right.
No.
And
It takes
was
all the tension
forced.
out of it,
And
too.
it
Yeah.
also took away from
Barry and
Iris,
Iris.
which is way
Yeah.
more important. Sorry.
All right, let's transition.
Yeah.
Anything else about Arrow?
Do people think the team is done with Arrow? Like that? Them all leaving was the
I
show
don't think
also
they're
trying
all, well,
I mean, we'll
it's-
still have
It's probably a tactic for the
Fantastic.
trial.
it's
Mr.
yes.
Fantastic.
It's
I don't
just
know his
Mr.
name.
Mr.
Terrific.
Terrific.
Ah,
I like Mr. Terrific.
Me too.
I
Yeah.
enjoy him.
More Mr. Terrific, please.
Well, anytime you can get a good set of ball jokes in there, it's great.
But see, that's the thing. He
Bollocks.
puts some lightheartedness
Exactly.
on
Yes,
the
he's
slog.
the much
Yeah.
On the
needed.
never-ending
Comic relief.
slog. Ugh.
It's the new character, the newer members of the
Yeah.
team that have
Yeah.
left it because they were
Which I'm
being
fine
spied
with.
on.
right.
Kyle's like, good riddance.
I was really
But
hoping.
aren't-
Mr.
Well,
Terrific was
the
one
bringing
of them,
back
though.
of Arsenal for me is it's like a step in the right direction. It's a step in.
I was hoping that Dinah Drake would be better. She wasn't.
No.
She
Yeah.
wasn't.
They've really, that's one of my major complaints about the whole series is that they've really done Black Canary poorly.
Yeah.
Just all across, and I'm not even a huge fan of her, but they've had 3 different Black Canaries, and frankly, I'm not at all
I mean, she's
interested.
really important, and they're kind of dragging her through the mud.
a
Yeah.
lot.
Because they put so much effort into Felicity that
I'm
I
honestly
love-
surprised they haven't turned Felicity into a Black Canary.
They
I mean,
might as
they
that's
probably will.
They were
There's
going.
still time, people. And I do love Felicity. I
Uh,
love her to death.
She's one of the best parts of the
yeah,
show.
Yes.
she's a great character.
But still, there's no reason for them to do all of those decisions with
Right.
the Black Canary character.
When they killed off Laurel, and that is Laurel Prime, not Laurel from Earth 2, I honestly thought that's where they
See,
were
the fact
going.
that you always have to establish those things. I mean, yes, it is still about a comic book, but the fact that we have to do this so many times within just a couple seasons is silly.
It is a little.
Yeah.
Well, I think it is a little annoying that they brought Black Siren over to Arrow just so that they could give Katie Cassidy something to do. But there again, it goes back to they've done the Black Canary poor justice.
Yeah.
So.
And I oddly found out that Katie Cassidy was actually David Cassidy's daughter. I
I
had
know.
no idea.
I didn't
estranged,
know.
but yeah.
Very estranged.
Very estranged.
It's very sad
Yeah.
story.
Bummer.
On that note, let's transition to the Flash. I
Sorry,
guess.
Katie.
Yeah, sorry, Katie, if you're listening. So, what do you think about the Flash this season?
It's nice to not have a speedster villain.
Yes.
Agreed.
Thank
Yes.
goodness.
I
This
love the
season's-
Thinker.
And this season's so much more upbeat, which works so much better for the Flash than all the Savitar season where it's constantly moping.
He was very
Oh.
emo.
To the point
Yeah.
where we get an emo Flash when he
Yeah.
goes
Yeah.
to the future.
It's true.
The Thinker's good, but there's something about him that just bothers me. I can't quite put my finger on it.
About the actor playing Clifford DeVoe or about the Thinker in general?
About the actor playing Clifford DeVoe.
Well,
we're
that's
getting
no
a new
longer
guy.
an issue.
Yeah, we're kind of done there.
Very true.
Clifford DeVoe, as in the body that housed him, is no more.
Yes, which leads into the second half of the season.
It does.
The trial of the Flash.
The trial of the Flash. So you're just referring to the fact that the Thinker is so thinky, his thinking cap made him so smart that he was able to manipulate things such that Barry got the Team Flash, which is now being led by Iris, broke Barry out of the Speed Force so that there would be that, whatever they're calling that radiation stuff, which made metahumans, because there was a bus of them right there, because he's looking for a new host body to house himself, because the thinking cap made his mind and consciousness
But there's
too
more to
much.
it. There's more to it. He wanted the team to catch several of them so that they will be in Iron Heights when Flash ends up there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
his thinking has gone. The character itself is excellent. I just didn't like the actor playing Clifford DeVoe.
I didn't mind him. I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah, and I really like how they've written to show you like how just the power, how intelligence can beat these like fantastic powers that, I mean, would even be a threat to Superman. But then somebody who's really smart, he's just so far ahead of them that they're not even in league with him.
Yeah, he's a very old school Flash villain, and I think they're doing really, really well with him. And he's not a speedster. That makes it so much fun.
That does make it a lot of fun.
And we're going to have, I can see Harry Wells going up against him. Council of Wells, hello, wasn't that so much fun?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh! Can I just say how much I love Tom Cavanaugh?
And
Yes.
apparently there were 6 or 7 more that they cut. That was supposed to be much bigger. The Council of Worlds was supposed to be much, much bigger.
Well, probably
wonder
the
if they'll
effects
lead to
got
it.
expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
I swear one of those Wells was channeling Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I did. I thought he said all right.
Yeah, he
did.
was trying to be cheeky.
Yeah.
The Hugh Hefner one was hilarious
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
It's not going to be long before we meet all 53
Yes,
Wells.
Total.
53.
Yeah.
Well, less one of them died.
But we've already
We've already met
We've
him.
already met him though.
Either way, it's fantastic.
Tom Cavanaugh really is one of the high points of this show.
Yes.
A high point among many, but he really does do so much for it.
I don't know. I don't think there's a weak character on The Flash.
No, there
the
isn't.
entire ensemble is great. And they all work together very tightly. The story is very tight.
They have
Find
better
new ways
chemistry
to
than
use
any of the
them.
rest.
They do.
They do.
Yes, agreed.
Cisco's he's just so much fun with all of his jokes. I mean, he is the Mr. Terrific, but all the time.
Yeah, he probably had all of, or at least 3 of the best lines in the crossover with the pop culture stuff.
Save it, Spencer.
I'm saving it, Nick.
We got a new member of the team, of Team Flash.
Yes, we did. One of the metas, elongated man.
Elongated
I thought it was
man?
Plastic Man.
No,
Is it-
they made a
Mr.
joke.
Fantastic.
Okay.
See, this is something that a lot of people got confused on. E.L. O'Brien is Plastic Man, but the first character with those powers is Dibney,
Yeah.
the elongated man.
Yeah.
And so Cisco made a joke. Oh, how about Plastic Man for a name? And they're like, no, that's stupid.
Uh-huh.
But a lot of people lashed onto that and think that he's Plastic Man, but
He's not
He's
plastic
elongated
man.
man.
He's elongated.
Yes.
That's
And I like-
the actual character.
I like him. I think
I
he's
like
hilarious.
him too.
Although ironically, they did give him a lot of personality traits of Plastic Man.
They did. He's all right.
He's funny.
Yeah.
He's
I was
just
gonna say,
meant
he's-
to be
he's
on
just
the
the-
side
yeah.
and funny.
Yeah.
I feel like he's replacing Draco.
Tom
Like they just,
Felton.
he's
Probably.
gone. So,
Well, you're probably
Draco.
right. Not that he was like, super cheery or anything like that, but Julian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Julie.
That was
Well,
kind
that's
of
'cause he was
weird, like
Dr.
that he was just
Alchemy for
gone.
part of the-
Because
Yeah.
considering the whole season was about how
I mean,
he
but
felt
I
like
liked
he was
Tom
part
Felton.
of the family now.
I liked him.
Dibney is fun, and I enjoyed his story arc.
Yeah.
You know, he had that. He got some redemption, which was good.
Well, I'm just like, because so many of the characters on the show are like scientists or like smart, nerdy people.
Or they're
he has
like-
just a whole nother
Or they're like
personality
mean
type.
metas.
Well,
Yeah.
and
And
that,
he's not mean.
right.
Yeah,
Mostly.
he's not a villainous meta. All the other bus metas use their powers for bad things. Well, not Brainstorm until Brainstorm.
I'm just saying the ratio
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
outweighs the other for sure.
His personality more takes the place of the Wells that died, because he wasn't a
Yeah.
scientist, but he has a power that he can help. And
Well,
it's fun to watch Barry teach him how to be a superhero.
That's
Oh,
true.
I loved the scene where the guy is shooting and he keeps shooting elongated man and bullets
He
bounce
keeps
back.
bouncing
Stop
back at him.
shooting him! I'm not!
Yeah, that is hilarious.
That was really funny.
Yeah.
Well, because they have their own little weird bond.
They do.
They do,
Yeah, it's Barry's turn to be a bit of a mentor, and
and not too annoying Kid
And it
Flash.
works. I was gonna say
Yeah.
it works better
Yeah.
than him mentoring Kid
They
Flash, which
really
is terrible.
minimized Kid Flash.
Oh, yeah.
Thank
And he's
goodness.
joining
It's like
the
they
cast
listen
of
to our
Flash.
podcast.
No,
They
Kid
announced
Flash.
that today.
oh, they
What
did.
did they announce?
I expected it.
I didn't hear what you
What?
said.
Kid
Kid
Flash,
Flash
is
is
joining
joining
the
Legends.
Oh.
Oh,
Because
to
he's
replace
ironically not a
Firestorm.
legend.
Yeah. But
So once you fail so many times, that's where you get
You go to
shunted.
I see.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
And then when you realise that you've
It was like a
failed
wave.
so many times, you ask them to write you out by killing you?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
They can't kill off Kid Flash, though.
No, but they killed
He
off
becomes
Firestorm.
a Flash.
But they killed off Firestorm.
They did.
Yeah.
That's
Which is very
because
sad.
Save it!
Say that's the next one.
Well, for things I don't like about this season of Flash, there aren't that many, but I will say I absolutely hate Aminette. Yeah, the
Oh,
really
don't get me
crappy
started.
Magneto.
Played by Katie Sackhoff.
Yeah, it's the worst character I've ever seen her play.
Yeah.
It was her
flat.
It was her decision to do this awful Dick Van Dyke-esque English accent, and it killed the entire character. It took away from her acting ability.
Yeah.
I struggled with that character.
Well, that's like, and then
Well,
they
I
have
don't
like,
understand how she
Killer-
fits into the overall picture,
Yeah.
other than to basically be Killer Frost's
Nemesis.
which is
sort
so
of.
stupid. Like
Sort
she,
of, yeah.
yeah.
she does the
Pimp is
Yeah.
what she feels like.
a
It's
little
really
bit. Yeah.
But it's just a badly played character. That choice of doing it. If you're going to do an accent in a show, be good at it. And
What do you...
just know. Sorry,
just like,
Katie,
she doesn't
that's
feel like she's not a-
terrible.
Killer Frost reacts to her like she's this big threat, like she's on the same level, and is like nowhere
Killer
near
Frost
any
is
of them.
superpower.
It's like, point, if you have to carry on your own bucket of metal.
Plus, Killer Frost.
Hold on a minute while I
burn.
get me bucket.
Yeah. Oh, I left it in the trunk. Just a minute.
Plus, I feel like Killer Frost is cold enough as liquid nitrogen and could freeze the metal and shatter it. That's just me.
It does feel
Or
like
just
Killer
freeze
Frost
it.
hasn't really
It's done.
got the hold of
She
her
hasn't.
power yet.
She doesn't want to accept
She doesn't
it.
want to accept it.
Yeah.
She's still trying to be like good.
Except for in Crisis on Earth X when she's being really badass.
Yes!
Like, flying.
Okay, I don't want to talk about it, but save it.
I do love the banter that you get from Killer Frost when she shows up and she's wearing the clothes that Caitlin had been wearing and she's just disgusted with herself. That kind of stuff is really, really good.
I like the schizophrenic angle that they're playing with her right now.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting.
Or like, I like that, like Caitlin getting jealous
Well, it's
that they're
like-
friends with, like that they
Yeah,
have
they
fun.
they
with
prefer
Killer
hanging
Frost.
out with her.
Yeah.
Well, it's like before we said we kind of would like to see more of the balance because before it was so deep in the struggle and she was trying to fight it. Now you're getting to see more of the balance because she's still Caitlyn some of the time, but then yes, you get to still see.
It's like they've agreed to share. Caitlin's body
Yes.
is a timeshare.
Yes,
Basically, yeah.
but it kind of has been working.
Okay,
It
you
works.
get her on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
So, yeah. I agree.
I didn't love the counseling, the marriage counseling.
Oh,
that
I
they
thought
went to.
that episode was hilarious.
I mean, I think Iris. I mean, like I get it, but I feel like she should be a little more understanding at this point. That's my argument for that.
But it was very brief, and the jokes were great. So-
I didn't say I hated it. I didn't say I hated the banter. I just said the concept of them needing to go to marriage counseling.
Did anybody else recognize the counselor?
Nope.
She played Evie's mum on the show where the girl would touch her fingers together to freeze time.
I don't know what that
I
is.
don't know
Oh
what
dear,
you're
it's an
talking-
American show.
I believe you.
We have time to watch all of American TV.
Fingers.
There's
too.
so many shows.
I can't remember the
We're
name of it,
spending
which
half
really
of our time
sucks.
watching British TV.
We're united around the couch.
Well, anyway, I recognized the actress, which was just fun.
Okay.
Google it.
Yeah,
Oh, I
edit that out. It was awful.
I enjoyed that episode personally, but that's just me. There really
amusing.
wasn't. Yeah, it was amusing. There really wasn't a weak episode on the Flash half season.
I just love Grant.
I loved the Bachelorette party episode.
Yes,
that was
super
good.
That
fun.
was amazing.
Drunk Barry was hilarious.
Oh,
Drunk
yes.
Barry was
Just
great.
went to the bar, got some nuts.
That was great. And oh my gosh, and Joe just being like, oh boy.
They're so strong as an ensemble that even their weakest
You can tell
is-
that they have bonds.
Yeah, they do. They're friends.
They've changed the Cisco character a little though.
Oh,
He started
no.
making mistakes, which he didn't do at first.
He's also highly, highly distracted
Yeah, that's
with
true.
Gypsy.
Yes.
And Gypsy's dad.
Oh, Gypsy's
Punching
dad
him
was
for-
awesome.
Yes,
Oh, I
Gypsy's
forgot
dad,
about that.
That was
played
a-
by Danny Trejo.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
That is amazing.
Good.
Thank you,
Sissy,
Danny
sissy.
Trejo.
It kind of worked as a device to bring out the real vibe too, which was nice.
I love it. I kind of like that he's getting some girl action, not just like him flirting with people. and it not working out.
Yeah, he's had kind of a down on his luck love life.
Yeah.
It's picked up.
Looking a little
I loved the message cube he got near the end of the half season.
Which was Atlantean. Did you catch that?
Yes.
Which apparently means Aquaman's on Earth too.
It was absolutely hilarious watching Harrison Wells going. Was it Harrison Wells saying, "Don't open that, don't open
It's
that"?
Harry.
Harry was saying because he recognised what it was.
Yeah.
It was basically a
Don't
sext.
Yeah.
Don't open that.
Don't
open
don't
that.
open that.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, don't open that.
Because he thought it was a breakup
He was,
cube.
yeah, breakup
Oh, yeah.
cube.
One of my favorite moments too is when Harry's breaking up with Wally for his daughter.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. I forgot about that.
Oh, everybody's laughing at it. Weren't you?
Oh, it's Wally.
Which was really the writers breaking up with Kid Flash.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
don't want you on the show anymore.
I just,
Deuces.
I think they introduced him too early, and I don't love the kid who plays him. That's my personal opinion.
The Flash is still the most balanced show.
Yes.
It is. And I'm looking forward to seeing the framing of Barry and the murder of the Thinker and Brainstorm now being the Thinker. It's all very confusing.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
It
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
Agreed.
How about Legends?
I like Legends.
Yes. I like it too. I don't know.
I love it for all its campy wonderfulness, its pop
Yeah.
culture, the things like going back and basically helping George Lucas create Star Wars.
That was
Yes.
last season.
That was last season,
But
but it's
still.
that kind of it's those
That
kinds of things
concept.
that
Yep. Any show that brings in Billy Zane is great.
Yes, but as I keep mentioning, total missed opportunity to not put Billy Zane and Victor Garber, especially since they meta Titanic jokes and the whole thing, together in a scene. That was just stupid. If you're gonna make another reference, you should just go all out. That's all I'm saying.
I see that.
Kyle has a bromance love for Billy Zane.
Really?
He's the Phantom.
Okay.
There's a little trivia for you.
He was
Alright.
one of the Phantoms.
He played P.T. Barnum, so that's what they're dealing with this season is anachronisms. They broke time.
Which
Rip-
they fixed very quickly.
Rip Hunter created a time
just what
bureau
happens.
in 5 years, but we didn't see the 5 years. And the time
That's
bureau
time travel.
cleaned up the time bureau cleaned up the anachronisms in LA, but they've spilled out over time. And because Sarah's working at a home goods store, she really wants to get the team back together and fix what they broke.
I actually enjoyed the Time Bureau. I thought it was a nice device. And I did like the anachronisms they chose, like having Cleopatra. Was it Cleopatra?
Helen of Troy.
Helen of Troy. Helen of Troy, that was a great episode.
That was a great episode.
Really fun.
And where did she end up, Spencer?
She ended up in the roaring, in the 20s or 30s.
No, I meant at the end.
At
but-
the end.
Oh, in the end, yes, she ended up on Themyscira.
Yes! So apparently Wonder Woman's in this universe.
That's true. They've had a lot of little
I
tie-ins
can't
like
track them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but
And
no,
But
we
it's still
probably
exciting
won't
when it
see.
happens.
It is.
You get a little giddy.
I'm
You're like, wait a minute, did you just hear that?
did you just hear that?
and
That's Wonder Woman's island.
let's talk about the resurrection of Damien Dark, who had been killed by Oliver, but then he's back.
Again.
The actual Damien Dark, though, not a time remnant.
Yeah,
Damien
not
Dark.
a
Right.
time remnant. I like Damien.
I do too.
I like Damien Dark. I think Neil McDonough does such a great job of that character.
I agree.
As
He's-
Thor. Or no, Odin.
Odin. I mean, I see why you might be confused. But he did have thunderous powers.
Yeah.
I didn't really like his daughter's character much.
I mean, I'm not
Eleanor.
sure what to think about her yet. Like,
I'm not sure either. I don't know exactly what role she has to play. But yeah, I don't know how she fits, and I don't know that I care about her.
not yet.
And I'm wondering
Yeah.
whether she was, again, and this is something that's happening a lot lately, is they bring in characters just to be a device
Yeah, I
to
think that's
get
what
another
it is.
Yes.
character.
Yeah.
That's what I
Or,
think it is.
You know, as basically a prop. And it feels like she may be that just to
Yeah,
report
I was
Damien
gonna say,
back.
who else would want to bring Damien after Reverse Flash? Like,
Right.
other
Yeah.
than him. They can't keep using him.
If Damien then kills his daughter.
Yeah.
That would make his character even more interesting and show
See,
his
and-
true
Yeah,
ruthlessness.
and since we know Constantine's coming back, like
Yay!
Constantine versus Damien Dark, these two sorcerers.
I'm excited
It's
for
gonna
that
be
part.
good.
Bust out the popcorn.
Yep.
Yeah.
If that happens,
That's
that might
really
make
good.
Legends go up for me.
Yeah.
Because
How
I'm
could that
very...
not happen? They would.
Well, I'm just saying.
I guess
You
that
never
would be
know.
a big mistake.
You never know.
Constantine's actually
That's fair
joining
enough.
the crew of the Legends.
They're not saying for how many episodes.
Yeah.
They're saying
Is
it will
it like
be more than
cameo
one
status
episode,
right
but they
now?
won't say if it's.
permanent or not.
Yeah.
But
That's
I was
the
super
same thing they're
excited
saying about
to
Wally.
see
They're
him.
saying he will have a multi-episode arc, but they're not saying if they're going to make him a regular.
What they're saying is they're going to see how it
Yeah,
plays
exactly.
out.
Yeah,
And
let's
if the
see what
fans
Twitter
like it,
says
they'll
the
keep
day
him.
after.
Oh,
Yeah.
please keep Matt Ryan because he
Yeah.
just deserves it. He's so good. He's so good.
He was
His
never given
show
a fair
is
shot.
crap, but he's
I was going to say, I
good.
couldn't get through the first episode of the show on
But-
NBC, but that's because it was on NBC, I'm sure.
And NBC wrecked it. He deserves it.
I mean, if you
Yeah.
watch like the animated movie Justice League Dark, they still got him to do the voice of it, and he is John Constantine.
He's John
like, he's
Constantine.
so perfect.
Well, he was really good in the episodes of Arrow that he
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. That made Arrow good again for a while.
What I don't like, so here are the things I don't like about Legends too much. I really don't like the parallel Vixen storyline. They're already doing the cartoon. Why do we have to do Vixen on Legends? I
Well,
don't
especially
understand.
since it felt like they were getting rid of her at the end of, or at the
Did.
start of this season. And it's like you got a way to get rid of her, and then
You brought her
Brought her
back,
back.
and then you brought in Isis,
And
who's
she
also
was-
and they
apparently
don't
a
even
totem
call her
carrier.
Isis anymore.
She was-
I know, she's just Zari.
She was never that interesting.
They
to
can't
begin
call her
with.
ISIS.
That's been her comic book name
That's
for
her
like
comic
60
book
years.
Yeah. But it
That's
has a
what that is.
negative
Yeah,
connotation
I can
now.
see why you would rename her, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still,
Call her
Just letting the
Osiris or some
terrorists
other
win.
Egyptian god.
Yeah.
I just don't care about the totem storyline. If it fits into the larger scheme, I guess maybe
Well, with
it's interesting.
would the
but
totems tie in with
I mean, they
Constantine?
would be
Maybe.
magical, so.
I guess we'll have to wait and see what this
They may
Malice
surprise
is.
us with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Malice is the demonic presence.
No,
yeah.
I feel like Legends has trained me to not care about the rotating cast because I don't really even notice.
Yeah, it's more of a story of the week show than
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not even
Like
that
I don't notice
invested.
kinda,
Maybe
It's
that's
just-
my problem. I have to de-invest. I don't know.
and then it's just fun. That's what
Yeah,
it feels
they
like.
are. They have some really fun, and a lot of that. Well, we've broken time, and that means this isn't going to happen. We have to go back and fix it. And sometimes those are really fun things because they're latching onto something that we all know and love.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite episode was the E.T. homage, though, with Ray
That
and
ET
the little
homage was
boy.
great.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because they went again. They chose it. They went full on. They didn't even break away from it. It was great. The Dominators came back. That's fun. They're hard. That's
Well,
a good
and
fun.
Ray's
decent
like one of
villain.
their best characters, and they actually gave him his own good
Yeah,
episode.
Yeah.
a good story. Agreed. They don't do enough with the Atom. He's kind of
Yeah, they
useless.
haven't. He's been on the back
well, they
burner.
destroyed his suit, so that last season we didn't have too much.
Well, and
Adams.
They
I mean,
shouldn't.
it also added texture to their whole universe of adding more to the Dominators than just that
Yeah.
one-off
Yeah.
villain thing. Like, you feel like, okay, they have a history in this
Mhm.
world.
They do.
Yeah, and that they're not just mindless killing machines.
Yeah.
They're, the mother was fully trying to protect its baby.
And potential return villain for. I mean, they're kind of the perfect villain for this sort of Justice League minor B-level Justice League thing we're watching, which is what the Legends of Tomorrow is.
I'm hoping that in a future episode of Legends, we get that Dominator that was the baby Dominator that had that bond with Ray as an adult,
Oh
and
yeah,
there's a recognition there that saves them.
that would be fun. I would like that. Callbacks are fun.
I love callbacks.
Yeah.
I liked Ray when he was inside making Bebo talk.
Yes.
Embrace science and logic.
I did
And
enjoy
evolution
that
is real.
Viking episode
Yeah.
where they there was a lot they were doing with that one. A lot of references, including the Back to the Future piece of it, which we'll talk about, Marty. I don't know if you want to save that for the crossover discussion or not. That started there and ended off the crossover, but
Yeah, I'm not sure if we should talk about losing Firestorm because
it starts in the
What?
crossover. Spoiler!
We knew it was coming.
Yeah,
But we-
that's
Yeah, we
because
talked
read the
about it.
trades.
We
Yeah.
talked about it in
Yeah.
the last podcast.
Yeah.
and we got Youngstein at the last
I
episode.
love Youngstein.
Kind of just
That actor does a good
He does.
Victor
Victor
Garber
Garber.
impression, yeah.
in his menorah sweater.
Yes. Anything else about Legends that you liked or didn't like? You're kind of quieter about this one.
I am excited about the villain, about seeing how Mollusk. Am I saying it right?
Mollusk.
Mollusk.
Mallus.
Come on, you work at a zoo,
Mollusk.
you should know what a mollusk is.
Yeah, I know what a mollusk is. I didn't know if they made. Because now I'm less excited if he's a mollusk.
You're
He's
really,
an ethereal
really bad
demon dude. And Sarah talked to him for a
Yeah.
second because Sarah's crossed over and had to be brought back by Constantine.
No.
Yeah, an Arrow.
Oh,
She's
the
died
person who
before.
pulled her back
Just got through.
from that was the Time Lady.
Yes. Who
That's what I thought.
I think is going to be her next romantic.
I was going to say,
Yeah, that's
There are sparks. There was just way too much hate, and now there's sexual tension. Supergirl.
It's not super deep.
Supergirl was really about the rise of Reign. R-E-I-G-N. R-E-I-G-N.
But the filler villain, I did not care for.
Morgan Edge. He is from the comics.
He is from
Yeah.
the 80s. He's like
He's the
an
lame
80s
version
power.
of Maxwell Lord, who wasn't that interesting to begin with.
Yeah,
And they
neither
already
one of
covered.
them are interesting. And Adrian Pazdar plays Morgan Edge, and I'm sorry, but Adrian Pazdar off of Heroes plays all of his characters cheesy as heck.
They're all pretty similar.
Yeah, they're pretty
yes,
similar
They
stuff.
are.
He doesn't have much range. He's always the
It's
same.
just, he's just flat. The character is flat. It's so, well, you stranded me on a ship, boo-hoo. There's
He's
just
just a
no
power-
dimension there. There's
Yeah.
nothing interesting.
He's a
about
power-hungry businessman. Who cares?
Yeah, because that's
Yeah,
new.
really.
He's trying to be Lex, but he's not smart enough.
No.
Right.
Nope.
Yeah, he's Lex without the charisma, the smarts.
The intellectual
Yeah.
aspects.
Any of that.
He's trying to be. He's a wannabe.
So here's why Supergirl is worse for me this season. We've spent a lot of time on mopey Supergirl, which is
Yeah,
just
exactly.
like mopey
Which was,
Flash.
which
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
and well, it was a little predictable. I mean, you knew she was going to, but I feel like she would be able to rise above that.
And still, like, function better.
Yeah.
The whole show, though, in general, had all of the characters being.
I mean, I
kind of
know
mopey.
she loved
Yeah.
him,
The sister was mopey because she broke up with Maggie.
but
and-
thank God that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a storyline.
Get rid of her.
It was forced.
Go away.
And I think I said that when we
Yeah,
talked
it
about
was.
it
It was
earlier.
very forced.
It just felt forced. It seemed unnatural for the actress playing the whole.
I
You're
mean,
right,
her
it
having
had
a relationship is fine, but Maggie was not likable, like, at all.
It had a grey cloud over it the whole first half of this season until Rain finally unleashes. It wasn't that interesting.
Yeah.
That's true. I would agree with
I was
him.
also annoyed that there's another surviving Martian.
Oh, a third
I'm
surviving
just,
Martian.
Yeah, it's like how many
Yeah.
people got off that planet, the same as how many people got off Krypton. It gets ridiculous after a point.
Surviving white Martian. Or green
No.
Martian.
No,
Yeah.
Because the white Martians survive.
John Jones' father is alive.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that storyline.
I like
I
the
didn't like
storyline,
that
but I see
storyline.
what
I like the
I do see
character.
where Kyle's going.
But I mean,
It's very
in the
anti-canon.
comics, it's
Yeah.
the same as Clark. He's the last son of Krypton. He's the last son of Mars. And when you have other characters from Mars, you're really taking away from him.
So is he the second or you said third?
Yeah, there's the
Well, I
white
was
Martian.
You were counting the white Martian?
Yeah.
But there's a
Yeah.
bunch of white Martians.
Yeah,
Which
we
even in the
got-
comic books, they should have been wiped out too. I was already annoyed that they kept
He's
all them
saying
around.
it's adding too much, just in general.
Well, I guess the way true. I guess the way I'm looking at it is since they've put other Martians on Mars, it's kind of nice to have sort of that tie, but also they haven't done much with Martian Manhunter in the past couple of seasons. He was really big in the first season.
Yeah,
and
he's more Hank than he is.
He is.
Yeah.
Well, he's more Jean with nothing else, really. I mean, I think he's still Jean, but
Yeah, but he's
They
playing
call
the
him
role of Hank Henshaw
yeah,
more than he's
playing
Yeah.
DEO head rather
Yeah,
than
that's what I
Martian Manhunter,
Yeah.
and that's which is fine, I guess. I was happy to see Carl Lumbly play his father from Alias. If you watch, he was Marcus Dixon.
Yeah,
Yes.
I liked
Yes,
the guy who played
Dixon.
I liked everything about the storyline was fine, but I see what Kyle says about you keep bringing back other people from these dead planets when there's only supposed to be one person. It suddenly seems a bit odd.
Yeah.
Well, they did that in the first season of Supergirl with Kryptonians who just managed to land.
Well, I mean, that's
in
just
the-
a modern
But
DC
Clark isn't the
problem.
only
They keep
Kryptonian.
doing that. I mean, originally it should just be him and his cousin, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same thing they keep doing with like the movies and stuff. They keep adding
So is
more and more.
Kara's in the comics, she was always from Krypton?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
Although usually
the cartoon, she was...
she's
she was
from
from-
Pandor, the city that Brainiac captures.
Yeah.
And it's the last.
So we don't... Okay, so he's the last... Superman's the last son of Krypton.
Yes.
But to be fair, Supergirl's comic canon is very scattered because there's
They've
been a
redone
lot
it
of
every
reboots.
like 20 years. They've rebooted it. But
And so there's not a lot of consistency with her backstory, but Superman's backstory has been consistent. So, but okay. So you're annoyed by the Manhunter part. That's
well, I
fine.
just don't like changes to like the canon of it.
Yeah.
That heavy
Yeah.
change anyway.
What about the cult? The cult of Supergirl, the cult of Rao. how he finds out about this Kryptonian god. I don't understand. I don't even understand him. They didn't even explain that very well about, I just happened upon this Kryptonian artifact.
It
and
made
told
zero
me-
sense, and I gave 0 squirts.
That was graphic.
Yeah, just a little.
That's a lot.
What's your fiber?
So
It was a joke.
you're quiet about Supergirl too. No thoughts?
It just wasn't that interesting.
Yeah,
It's
like
just
I'm
I mean,
hoping,
again,
I'm hoping
I feel
after
like
the
they're-
crossover, like when it comes back, it'll get better. Like you said,
Yeah.
with
I
Rain
feel
and
like
It
they're
was so
doing the
much
same
build-up.
thing they did last year, which I felt they did last year, which is a lot of build up that first half, and then everything really started to kick in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, there's
So we're doing our little roundup, but there's not as much
There's, like,
not as
filler
much meat
episodes.
to discuss.
I mean, the episodes where they go home and like just have like a sleepover at their old house, like that episode
Yeah.
contributed
Nothing. It was filler.
The
Except
moment-
that it was
Contributed to
called
the
Mid-Battle
relationship.
And there was Easter eggs.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
was
but-
there was some of
But
that.
Easter eggs are just.
I did like when Mon-El came
Yeah.
back. That was interesting because
They're
finding out where he'd
introducing the Legion
gone.
of
And,
Superheroes.
Yeah, which is what he's a member of in the comics.
Right. But then he came back married to, we don't know her as this yet, but she's Saturn Girl.
I don't know her as, I don't know, Saturn Girl.
Yeah, who's
So-
Saturn Girl?
Another
Well, I mean, all
DC
the
minor property.
all the members. We're hoping he'd be a Green Lantern, which is what I
That's
think would
what
have
I
worked so much better.
wanted.
Because the Legion of Superheroes, they're a group of superheroes from the future that the 30th century, but they're all kind of lame.
They're all lame.
and they basically worship Superman.
Yeah, they worship
too.
Superman and like Supergirl and like the Golden Age of Heroes, like Flash and that. Like they
They
grew up,
worship the Justice
well, that's
League.
like their
what
legends.
they're trying to be.
and for a long time there haven't been heroes like that, and then
They have-
Legions of
they have, like,
Superheroes like
rings.
picked up. Yeah,
They're
Really?
fanboys.
Yeah, basically they're the dorks that hang out in the basement talking about shows.
But they have power.
they were also on Smallville.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, so that happened. I'm glad Mon-El came back because I think he's super cute, but I also don't know how I feel about it's just going to be a love triangle now
Yeah.
for the rest of the season.
Very, very, like, you almost could have predicted that was going to
And
happen.
the funny thing
Yeah.
is, Saturn Girl is accepting of that. She's like,
Because-
I know that he loved you, but he's mine now. And she's
Yeah.
not being spiteful about
No.
it. She's commiserating. But the
Yeah.
whole thing's just kind of the front
She
half
was pretty
was
chill.
depressing and kind of just can you get to the point? That's how I felt about it.
Yeah. Well, the point is Rain,
Yes.
and Rain is awake now.
And
She
that was
has
a
her-
good episode of Supergirl this season.
That's
really
the best
good.
episode so far. Her fortress of sanctuary, not solitude,
Wink,
is
wink.
in the desert.
I liked that. I thought that was really cool when she went out to the desert and you
Yeah.
got like the reverse Fortress of Solitude. It was
Yeah. So there's not some, she's going to be powerful like Doomsday. She's not exactly Doomsday, and it was kind of okay because
Well, she's Doomsday, but with a brain,
Yeah.
with a brain, yeah, because he's kind of a zombie.
and more than
Power.
I think with her, it's more she's very black and white on justice and how things. She's got a hardened sense of justice, so it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. Because I think she sees herself as a savior rather than a destroyer.
Well, that's what the fortress tells her, that she's supposed to be I forget what the actual phrase is, but basically the regulator of the universe or something. Like she's meant to put everybody in line, and Earth is a wayward planet, and she's got to take care of that, so.
Does she have a daughter in the comics?
I'm not as familiar with her.
What?
Believe it or not, Kyle did not spend a lot of time picking up the Supergirl comic
Yeah.
as a teenage boy.
Well, and Rain is newer. She's newer
She's
to the
newer.
canon.
Although the other Supergirl villain that they introduced this season, who's actually a Supergirl villain and not a Superman villain, is
You
Psy.
can't say anything, dude.
I don't remember.
Psy is the one that evokes everyone's deepest fears. And that's the one that made her grieve over Mon-El in the end, basically, because she was not grieving properly.
I like when Kylie says certain things, she rolls her eyes.
So her greatest fear is her broken relationship.
I'm not
just
saying
saying
it's good. I'm just saying
That's
Psy
what
was
it
I
is.
know. Psy was an actual Supergirl villain. They don't have a lot of them, and they put her in the show. So that's all I was saying. So Supergirl, everybody's really enthusiastic. Let's hope it picks up in the second half of the season.
Yeah, I mean, the characters and the actors are still great, and I still
They
love
are.
them. I'm not real on board with like Jimmy and Lena.
Yeah.
I like her. Like the little episode, I think it was in season
We
2
need
when
something
she had a
to
moment
do with
with
Jimmy
Wynn.
and...
Yeah.
Like Lena and Wynn and they had a cute little episode in season 2. I really liked them and wanted them to get together. And then I don't like Jimmy that much.
It keeps
Don't like
we've
him
got to hook
either.
Mackay Brooks
Yeah.
up with somebody.
I don't
We've
like
got
him
to-
either.
They
They made him the CEO. Didn't like that. They made him Guardian. Didn't like that.
Notice they minimized Guardian. They actually
Yeah.
made some comment about, oh, Supergirl's really taking care of things in National City. Crime is way down.
Yeah, they try to refocus
Yeah.
more like back on
They
his.
they keep trying to throw
Photography.
him at things. Yeah,
I think they made a joke of it in the crossover as well.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
Very much.
It's been
Hold
bad.
on.
There's
I
an
know,
exclamation point on that character in the crossover episode.
I just look forward to seeing what's gonna happen.
Me
Yeah.
too.
They are still handling the property correctly with regards of her not ever needing, till this point, that may change, but she's able to be a strong female character without there being a male character there that makes sure that she's always safe and can do it, you know?
She might need Superman's help with Rain.
She might.
Which
But
would
I
be
just
fun.
love him.
I'd like to see him come back.
He was. I mean, he's good.
I mean,
He's
if we
good
could
as
just see
Superman.
him fight Reverse Flash.
That would also be fun.
Oh my god.
And then there'd be a
That random
Superman
comment.
Flash team up. That would also be fun. But she could come too. Let's do this. I like it.
come too.
I feel like this was my most optimistic of the four cliffhangers. Like, I'm most excited to see what they do
Yeah.
with the Ray.
Yes,
Yeah,
agreed.
it's the one with the most upside.
As much as I enjoy Flash, I know that everything's going to work out.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be in jail.
Yeah, eventually.
I mean,
it might take the whole rest of the season.
we also know that Supergirl will eventually defeat
Yeah.
Rain, but it's not as mundane of a cliffhanger.
I'm actually
like
more
a trial.
excited about the Legends cliffhanger because of Constantine and
Yeah, that.
the demon piece of it.
Yeah.
But
I'm excited for that too, yeah. But I
Yeah.
really...
I'm excited for all of them to pick back up, which starts tomorrow.
Oh, gosh.
we're recording it just in time.
Fanboy.
Indeed.
Says,
Own it.
Hot. Nice to meet you.
You know what? I'm fine with it.
so we've rounded up our mid-season reactions. Now it's time for another little game. As a group, you're now going to cast each other as one of the main villains that were listed at the top question. And it's going to be spicy because that's this group. So go.
So we
I'm just gonna
collectively
do
have
mine,
to
'cause I
pick,
kinda-
or do I have to pick a villain for each of you, and then Kyle has to pick a villain for everyone?
Somebody can start and others can agree.
I'm just gonna go because I kind of already I was gonna say Damien Dark for Spencer
Oh,
because he's kind of evilish.
I was
Yeah.
going to say
And
Morgan.
I
and-
agree.
he's kind of dry and
I
like
agree.
witty. And then I was gonna say Rain for you because you like the Superman universe anyway, and she's kind of awesome. And I was gonna say kind of Killer Frost for you.
By you, she means Kristen.
Yes,
Previously, she
Kristen.
meant Kylie.
Nick.
Yeah. Plot
And
twist.
I was gonna say the Thinker for Nick. Just
Oh,
because you do
interesting.
think things through and you're kind of smart that way.
You're the only one
Yes,
that actually
I
takes
know it
notes.
Yeah.
And then Kyle Gorilla Grad, just because.
That might
Save that one for when you two get home.
I've noticed.
You're pretty strange. You like him.
Oh man.
I like all monkeys.
Not a monkey!
Don't throw big
Wow,
ass.
you can see the
Wow,
rain
yes.
pop in the middle of Nick's forehead right there.
Yeah.
Any other
That was the equivalent of them breaking canon, you calling a gorilla a monkey.
I'm going to give Kristen Amunet because she too needs work with her English accent.
Oh! That a joke.
That was a throwdown, girl.
He's just upset because I slept through our lesson today.
Well,
Which is
He
which-
wasn't actually at the lesson to sleep through it.
No. I
I
did.
mean,
Yeah.
that happens.
I would probably give Kylie Rain.
I am very law and ordery.
I can see Nick being the thinker, it works.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay, interesting.
These revelations are so funny.
Aren't they?
Kyle's Gorilla Grind.
I don't see that.
I can see that. But I don't really see him as any of these, to be
Yeah.
honest. I
See?
mean, maybe a Caden James, maybe?
You're a hacker.
Except for I'm terrible with computers. But
Oh well.
This is fictional.
Morgan Edge?
Oh. You're a bad
I can see Hilary going as the Killer Frost. It suits her.
I'm fine with that.
So there's mine.
Okay.
It's hard.
It is hard.
I mean, the list has been better in the past.
Yeah, I was gonna say these list of villains isn't
I can't
the
help
best.
it the villains aren't as great.
Yeah.
And we did Heroes
I
last
mean,
year.
really, to call us some of the other villains is just insulting.
That's what I'm gonna pick the most insulting. You're our KG beast.
That was Spencer he was pointing
You're
to.
the
I can
random.
act better than Dolph Lundgren, damn it.
And Nick's the random meta that can control technology in Flash's suit.
Kilgore? For Kilgore? What percent sign?
Well, you don't have the Samuroid on here, or whatever.
Well, because he was an extension of the Thinker. So you're still the Thinker.
And I'd say Hilary is the girl who can affect luck on the Flash.
Hazard.
Yeah.
I always want to call her Chance because there's another character in the comics that does that too.
Honey, your characters are lame.
That's what he said he was going to do.
I still
know,
say
I'm
Killer
just-
Frost for you though.
Yay! I get Killer Frost. I love her.
Black
I
Siren.
actually picked Kylie because you overthink everything.
That's true, I do.
That's legit.
She overthinks everything,
She really does.
I just have an active brain.
much like him, till it destroys his body.
I didn't make a thinking cap, though.
What are you wearing on your head right now?
Oh! Headphones.
But what is it really?
Yeah.
Stuff to make me hear. Not think.
The hearer
It
doesn't
keeps you
have.
connected to the computer, much like his cap keeps him connected.
You're really
Now who's overthinking?
All right, Chief
Yeah,
Couch
who's
Potato.
overthinking?
All right, Chief Couch Potato, let's hear yours.
Okay.
Ooh, that was rather villain.
Everybody did go. That was fast.
I didn't go. No,
Oh.
I didn't go yet.
Oh, go.
Okay.
She's got to go last.
Okay,
Go
yeah.
to the thing.
Okay, so yeah, Spencer, Damien Dark, that's easy. Evil, it gets evil.
Evil against evil.
Evil gets evil. For Kyle, I'm also going to go with Caden James. I know you're not a computer guy, but I can see it. With Nick, Gorilla Grodd, I think, for you. It's your love for animals, big and
Monkeys
small.
in particular.
Monkeys in particular.
Not a monkey.
No tail.
It's a primate, damn it!
For
They're all
Hilary.
primates.
I know, I'm putting
Oh my god.
See? Damien Dark. Case and
Of all of the ones on that list, it's the one that fits the best.
it is. And then for Hilary, I'm also going to go with Killer Frost because I think she would get really upset if we liked her alter ego a lot better than her. And then for Kylie, yeah, I'm going to have to go with Rain as well. Because I think you wouldn't necessarily want to be evil at first, but then once I think you accepted it, you'd just really get into it.
You'd go full aggressive.
She would.
Okay.
Mad with power.
Yeah. So
Again.
that's my cast.
I don't argue.
Now everyone has gone. I think. Did Nick go?
No.
Nick hasn't gone?
I kind of agreed with people as they talked, but
Okay.
but I think Kyle, Caden, James. I think Black Siren for Hilary.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
Damien Dark for Spencer, Killer Frost for Kristen, and
You
Rain
love
for
this.
Kyle.
Cool.
So
Now,
pretty
I'm
universally.
good with it. He's
Yeah.
charming, he's charismatic, and he's evil. It's great.
I also,
Again, it's like looking in the mirror.
I also would put Damien Dark for Spencer, although part of me also wants to make him Reverse Flash as Harrison Wells only, not as the Eobard that is
Thank
Matt
you.
Letcher.
Which is still,
I like that better.
Yeah.
which is still effing cool.
Yeah.
So,
Because I think last year's midpoint, I think I called him Evil Harrison Wells.
I think you did. I would make
Some decent
Kyle
props.
the Dominators because he knows about everything all the time, and he dominates the comic book discussion.
Except
Speak
Supergirl.
only in scream.
He loves to run around without clothes. Wait, what?
Right.
I don't know.
Awkward.
Nick, I would give you the Thinker as well. Gorilla Grodd's real fun and all, but I can't see you as a gorilla, so I'm just going to put you as the
Look
Thinker.
at my suit.
you're so intimidating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would make Kristen Killer Frost because the description you gave about Hilary being Killer Frost, I would think of that of you.
I can see it. That's me.
And I would actually have given Hilary Black Siren because Black Siren, I mean, she told me about being, full-on aggressive. Black Siren has her own passive-aggressive way of things. And also, she's got the Sonic Scream legit, so
Yeah.
she's not got some device helping her out. So that's how I'd cast y'all. Did I do everybody? Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take Killer Frost. I'm a fan.
Everybody's so agreeable. Well, great. Are you going to keep watching?
Yes.
Every single one of them.
Yeah.
All right.
Because we don't have a choice.
It's true. I'll save the recommendation question because I'm thinking that you're going to want the ends of the season before you have that.
Yeah.
thought.
Sure. Yeah.
Unless you really want to recommend it now or not recommend it now.
It's really weird to recommend it in the middle of a story.
It is. So I won't ask that. So, other than what we've already talked about, is there anything else you wish to say about any of the 4 shows as we go into the season's second halves?
Save it. Just
Save it.
That's what he
I
kept
don't know.
saying because
I was worried
did
people
you
were gonna-
miss that
I guess.
reoccurring joke?
I guess I did.
Wow.
Or I forgot about
He
it.
said
anytime
it
anyone
like,
would talk about Crisis on Earth X.
Well, we're going to do that in a second.
I know. That's what I'm saying to say.
All right. Well, in that case, if we're going to save this, then I'm going to not save this. CPU is produced by Back Pocket Productions, run by yours truly, the Chief Couch Potato, and hails from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Please, if you like what you hear, take the time to rate us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, or Google Play. Give us stars, preferably, comments, reviews, anything, anywhere, so that we can spread the word effectively. If you have suggestions on shows we might consider, contact us at our website, couchpotatoesunite.wordpress.com, by email at couchpotatoesunitepodcast@gmail.com, or via our social media, Facebook, Twitter, though we add new and old shows to chat about around the water cooler all the time. As always, we have several more new episodes coming down the pike, and are available and searchable via the web. We're everywhere. Make sure you subscribe to our blog, our channels, our social media to stay up on new events and episodes. If you want to catch up on the DCTU, the current seasons are only available, the most recent 5 episodes, on CW app. Supergirl airs on Mondays, Flash and Legends on Tuesdays, and Arrow on Thursdays. The new half season, so the seasons pick back up, starting this week, and we are actually publishing this episode this week. So, just in time. Do you agree with us? Not agree with us? Let us know. Until next time, until next episode, new episodes published every Wednesday. Keep listening, keep watching, stay tuned!
Bye-bye.